Welcome back to Martial Theology. In this episode, we're unraveling an intriguing enigma. Who exactly were the Nephilim? This age-old question has stirred curiosity among scholars, historians, and truth-seekers alike, giving rise to countless theories and interpretations. Often referred to as the Fallen Ones, the Nephilim are a cryptic group mentioned in the ancient scriptures of the Bible. They are believed to be the offspring of divine beings and human women, a consequence of the sons of God mingling with the daughters of man. The Bible, in Genesis, these biblical giants born from the unusual union of celestial entities and mortal females. They were not extraterrestrials, angels, or watchers, but literal physical beings born of an exotic union. There is the mention of Nephilim after the flood, as stated in Genesis chapter 6, verse 4. The giants were on the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of man, and they bare children to them. The same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. When the Israelites surveyed the land of Canaan, their report back to Moses included sightings of Nephilim, descendants of Anak. These Nephilim, recognized for their strength and size, were prominent instigators of moral decay and disorder. They sparked an onslaught of corruption that permeated human society, corrupting the moral fabric. They ushered in a period of spiritual pandemonium where integrity diminished and vice prevailed. According to the Genesis, as humanity proliferated across the earth, the sons of God, assumed to be the Watchers, were captivated by the allure of human women and took them as their wives. These unions brought forth giants, depicted as powerful and celebrated beings. However, they were not just any beings. There was a time when it was believed that the coupling of these sons of God with the daughters of Adam, which resulted in these hybrids, was the very cause of the Great Flood. Though it is commonly debated if the Nephilim were or were not utterly eradicated during the flood, the Holy Scriptures assert that their impact was far from over, them being the forebears of a number of formidable adversaries of the Israelites. The Rephaim, an ancient race of giants in Canaan, from the Bronze Age to the Iron Age. Many locations were also named after them. According to Genesis chapter 14, verse 5, they were recognized for their enormous height, were also identified as descendants of the Nephilim. And as we journey further into the biblical accounts, we find the Israelites led by Moses and Joshua encountering formidable adversaries, the Anakim. There is an explicit description in Numbers chapter 13, verse 27 through 33. And they told him and said, We came unto the land whither thou sentest us, and surely it floweth with milk and honey, and this is the fruit of it. Nevertheless, the people be strong that dwell in the land, and the cities are walled, and very great. And moreover we saw the children of Anak there. The Amalekites dwell in the land of the south, and the Hittites and the Jebusites and the Amorites dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea, and by the coast of Jordan. And Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, Let us go up at once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it. But the men that went up with him said, We be not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we. And they brought up an evil report of the land which they had searched unto the children of Israel, saying, The land through which we have gone to search it is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof. And all the people that we saw in it are men of a great stature. And there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, which come of the giants. And we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight. These giant clans, including the Emim, Zamzumim, and Rephaim, were a significant challenge. The conquest of the land necessitated the eradication of these giants, leading to Joshua's statement that there were no Anakim left in Israelite territory, with the exception of the Philistine cities of Gaza, Gath, and Ashdod. Interestingly, Goliath, the giant who challenged David, hailed from Gath, linking him to this lineage of the Nephilim. The term Rephaim serves as a key to understanding why these giants were perceived as demons in biblical literature. In the Old Testament, besides being described as giant warlords, the Rephaim were portrayed as terrifying, sinister spirits known as the Shades, residing in the underworld, or Sheol in Hebrew. Moreover, in Deuteronomy 2:10-11, the Emims are recalled. The Emites used to live there, a people strong and numerous and as tall as the Anakites. Like the Anakites, they too were considered Rephaites, but the Moabites call them Emites. This Bible verse further underlines the formidable nature of these giants. The disembodied spirits of these giants were thus associated with death and its accompanying fears, a concept that received much attention in Jewish writings produced after the Old Testament. This association further solidified the infamy and fear surrounding the Nephilim and their descendants. In the intertestamental period, a time that stretched from the 4th to the 1st centuries BCE, the Nephilim were widely seen as the monstrous giants, according to the Greek translation of the Bible, known as the Septuagint. It intriguingly uses the term gigantes, evoking the colossal titans from Greek mythology. As depicted in the Holy Scriptures, the Nephilim were thought to have catalyzed the moral degradation of the world, being a key factor in bringing forth the Great Flood. Yet despite this disaster, the influence of the Nephilim persisted, their narrative interwoven into the tales of dreadful giants in later texts and traditions. Their story, enigmatic and intriguing, perpetually engages us, prodding us to dive further and reevaluate our comprehension of the world. However, some theories speculate that the spirits of the Nephilim remain terrestrial, evolving into what we now recognize as demons. As descendants of angels and humans, the Nephilim spirits may have possessed the exclusive capacity to persist without a physical body, potentially elucidating why we witness the demonic urge to control humans by possessing them, thus gaining control over a physical entity. However, the fallen angels are outnumbered 2 to 1 by the holy angels, as noted in Revelation chapter 12, verse 4, which provides them with a probable incentive to augment their ranks. Nonetheless, this hypothesis is predicated on a potential misinterpretation of the term spirits in prison in 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 19, by which also he went and preached unto the spirits in prison, which some misconstrue as referring to the incarcerated fallen angels who revolted against God. Thus, if all fallen angels are confined, this reveals that Lucifer and his allies are still wandering the earth, which necessitates another explanation for the presence of demons, steering us towards the Nephilim theory. It's reasonable to interpret the spirits in prison as watchers who participated in an additional rebellion, the Sons of God, Daughters of Men incident. The incarcerated watchers are presumably the ones who mated with human women, but this act was not linked to the fall of Lucifer and the angels that accompanied him in that separate rebellion before the fall of man. The angels who committed this unspeakable act of mating with human women are the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation. He hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness, unto the judgment of the great day, as stated in Jude chapter 1, verse 6. They reside currently in a place known as Tartarus, a sort of hellish location being held for judgment of the lake of burning sulfur. Revelation chapter 20, verse 10. While there is considerable biblical evidence linking demons to the fallen watchers, the Book of Enoch is an authentic historical text, but is not included in canon of either Jews or Christians, except for the Ethiopian Bible, and also in ancient texts like the Dead Sea Scrolls. The Book of Enoch, chapter 16, verse 1 states, "And the death of the giants, wherever the spirits have gone out from their bodies, their flesh will be destroyed before the judgment. Thus they will be destroyed until the day of the great consummation is accomplished, upon the great age, and upon the watchers and the impious ones." Demons are presented as the disembodied spirits of the dead Nephilim giants who perished at the time of the Great Flood. And with that, most of the early church fathers did indeed include the Book of Enoch as a reliable text still up to the 5th century. I'll leave it up to you to decide, is it true or not? We will continue to unravel the mysteries of the past, shedding light on the shadows of ancient history and theology. We hope you're as excited as we are to delve deeper into these fascinating narratives. Remember, history is not just about the past, it's about understanding our present and anticipating our future. So we cordially invite you to become an integral part of our community. If you found this exploration into the enigma of the Nephilim intriguing, don't hesitate to hit that like button and show your support. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to Martial Theology. Join us as we delve deeper into the fascinating intricacies of ancient history and theology. Together, we will continue to uncover the hidden truths that have shaped our world. Thank you for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you in our next adventure into the past.